welcome back to Fantasy Turf War, the ultimate showdown where 64 teams battle head-to-head for fantasy football glory. This is episode 50, and I'm your host, Lauren Hill, and with me are Matthew, Ane, and Corey Bassett. Matthew, please introduce yourself.
How you doing, guys? Matthew Ane here. It's going to be a great show. Can't wait to dive in some fantasy baseball talk. I can't forget about my boy Corey.
He said baseball.
Yeah, it's a football show.
Oh, still in the baseball mode.
Let's restart that.
Okay. He's literally wearing a different hat right now. So, no, it's up, everybody. It's Corey, and episode 50 is pretty exciting stuff. So let's get at it.
All right. So now, before we get started, Fantasy Turf War is something totally new, and we need your help because no one has ever done a 64-team league like this on YouTube before. We are the first. So if you'd like to keep the vibes flowing, smash that subscribe button like you're catching the latest viral trend. No pressure. We'll roll out the content one post at a time with weekly updates and tons of fantasy chatter. And don't forget to tap the notification bell like it's the hottest new sneaker drop. Stay in the loop. We promise you won't want to miss a beat. So today is October 1st, and we had a lovely goal for the past month to hit 100 subscribers by October 1st. Currently, we are 12 subscribers away, so very exciting. When we hit this goal of 100 subscribers, we are going to have a massive contest released to match the goal. So the grand prize is not only just this prize, but it includes a Beckett-certified autographed full-size Christian McCaffrey helmet. So very exciting. We have video or photo proof of this now on social media. Very cool helmet. So if you are interested in wanting to win it, please hit that subscribe button. We are so close to this goal, and we are so excited to be doing this with y'all. Also, pay attention to the bonus code to be given out by one of us during the show, because you never know when it could come out. So Corey, catch us up on what's been going on in the league.
Yeah, it's been say crazy week is an understatement of the year probably. It's been absolutely nuts. So we've had 8 undefeated teams going into this week. I don't know if there's any left after this week. I have to go check. The initial check, there wasn't any. Also, we had a goal of hitting 100, and we are actually at 90 as of recording right now. So I actually went ahead this morning and may or may not have already started the contest, and there's like 20 people already in the contest. So we'll put the link in the show notes, and I'll work on that here in just a second. But it is actually live already, and it'll run through 11:59 p.m. on October 1st. The grand prize is out there. We also have the smaller prizes listed as well. You get daily entries, so make sure you check back every day and pay attention to the bonus code. If you were watching last week, we did drop a bonus code. I'm not going to say what that code is, but if you watch the show, it does pop up in there, and I verified it does work this morning. So there's an incentive for you to go back and watch that episode as well as tonight's episode. You don't know when the code's going to come up. Lauren and Matt don't even know what the code is. I may not know what the code is yet, but we'll announce that, and then make sure you get your bonus points because there are 16 people, and they are already starting to get all their bonus points in there. So you want them, and make sure you get them. The Christian McCaffrey trophy Christian McCaffrey helmet will be a nice trophy at the end of the year for whoever wins it. And speaking of trophies, we have our custom 1-of-1 Fantasy Turf War ring that has been made in partnership with Trophy Smack. Trophy Smack makes awesome rings, and they were nice enough to customize one for us and send us out. So that is what the winner of Fantasy Turf War Season 1 is going to get. That is theirs to keep. We will make a new one for Season 2. And the best part about all of this is that you can make your own custom fantasy football championship ring, trophy ring, commissioner ring, rings for all occasions. All you have to do is head over to Fantasy Turf War's website and Trophy Smack's website, and you can create one yourself. Huge shout out to Trophy Smack for working with us to put that on, and really excited to be able to give that away to someone at the end of the year. Let's see, some quick rundown. We have everything on our library on Apple, Rumble, Spotify, everything else. It's there, so go find it. There may or may not be incentives to follow those things on the contest. Hint, hint, wink, wink. But yeah, it's what we're doing is a pretty cool thing. We've got our 64 teams, but these are also small businesses, personalities, their own brands themselves, and so Helping us allows us to help them as well, and we want to foster a community of growth and camaraderie, and we're helping each other out. So if you like what we're doing, please do us a favor and drop a subscribe. Make sure you're entered in the contest. We want to be able to give back to you all, and it's also meant to be a community. So if you have questions that come up during the show, or if you have start-sit questions, make sure you throw them in the chat. We have upgraded our chat for tonight's episode. Thanks to the folks at Ecamm Live. Huge shout out to Jeff and Katie, who I worked with this weekend to make that happen. So if you have questions, make sure you throw them in the chat. We will get your name on screen with us, and we will hopefully answer them as we go through the show. But if not, we have time dedicated at the end to deliberately answer your questions and make sure we get to you. So throw it in there. We'll get to it. And with that, I'll pass it back to you, Lauren.
I would just also love to say that Corey did not tell us that the competition was starting today. The contest was starting. And if anyone in the league is flooded with follower requests, that is why. This is why. I literally opened my phone and was like, hello?
Wait a minute. Hang on. I told you to at...
Did you tell us? Or am I
told you at 10:51 this morning.
Oh, my apologies.
She was too busy for us having her first interview.
Yeah, so it was also like 8 hours after it went live, but I did tell you this morning. It went live at midnight, so.
Well, But never mind, guys. He did tell us. Sorry, I'm just clueless. All right. Anyway.
She's just mad because she doesn't have as many points as. Let's see who's winning right now. Tank Latier actually has the most points. He has 901 points or entries into the contest as of right now. So.
Dang.
Just saying, got to get to it. It's a competition.
Start following people. Yeah, for real. All right. So kicking it off tonight, we're going to talk about the most important, what we believe should be your waiver wires for this coming up week. Just people really to look out for, some booms that happened this past weekend that we believe if you don't already have them on a team, put them on your team. We're telling you right now to do so, or at least put them in your watch list. So starting off tonight, we're starting off with Dontayvion Wicks. If I pronounce things wrong, we did this last week. I just want to state that it's not on purpose. I'm just going to kick it off to Matt with the stats here. You want to go off with that?
All right. So you actually said it right. So congratulations.
Awesome.
Dontayvion Wicks of the Green Bay Packers. He's about 15% owned on Yahoo. And quite honestly, he looked like an absolute superstar last week. Over the weekend, essentially. My guy really just stepped up. Christian Watson went down to an ankle injury, and he stepped up big time. He ended up with like 13 targets. Came down with about 5 receptions. Don't like that. Hopefully that improves. But 78 yards. Longest reception was 36 yards. 2 reception touchdowns, and looked like an absolute stud out there. Jordan Love looked at him like crazy. I watched the game personally, and I was just like, okay, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Every 5 seconds, Wicks was getting a look at a pass. And this was even before Watson came off the field. He got hyper-targeted after it because they were just locking up Jaden Reed, and Wicks was just left there out in the open. So this is great. Now, this is going to have a multi-week enhancement, too, because I think Watson's going to be out for at least 2 to 3 weeks. And if it goes out to 3 weeks, they have their bye week in week 10. So, they're already in week 8. They might wait the 2 more weeks, give him his ankle a rest. And we could have a solid, 4 weeks technically of just Dontayvion Wicks and Jaden Reed alone in that field. On top of that, what I like about it is going into this week, they're playing the Rams. Rams are ranked 31st against wide receivers. And then on top of that, 21st against passing. So both, Jordan Love, Jaden Reed, and, Wicks are slam dunk plays. And with Wicks being 15% owned, I think we need to add him everywhere and get that up to almost like 90% because I think Wicks is just going to absolutely go off this week.
Yeah, I kind of took it right out of my mouth. As much as I hate to praise Green Bay Packers, they are hurting, and most teams are honestly hurting this week with all these injuries going around. So if you can, go out and get them. Do you happen to know what the ownership percentage is?
15% on Yahoo.
Oh yeah, totally go out and get this guy. If you are anywhere near concerned, or now you're getting into the 0-4 territory, you need to be making moves. This is probably the player to pick up, if not our next one that we'll talk about. But Lauren, what do you got?
Yeah, I would also love to point in there that each of these divisions being 16 people, especially if we're talking about fantasy turf war in our league, they're probably all taken already.
Yeah.
From personal experience, they're probably all gone. Because that was Matt sent this list and I said, wait, let me go look.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry.
But
Before I give this out, I do it first. And then second, also
yeah.
too, we already recommended before this season started to pick up Dontayvion Wicks.
Yep.
So if you were here
I
earlier,
didn't
you already
listen.
knew.
Pays to pay attention.
I didn't listen to you. Anyway,
Fail.
yeah, just being honest with you, I didn't listen to you.
It's okay. Matt still thinks we're on a baseball show.
This is true. I didn't know how to pronounce Matthew's last name until about like 3 weeks ago. So
It's all good. Only my mother calls me Matthew,
okay,
so this is great.
Awesome. Love that. Okay. I mean, my opinion on him, again, he, like Matt said, basically played a perfect game this past weekend. He looked awesome. If you have him available in your league, 100% put him on your team. Don't even put him on your watch list. Just go ahead and add him. Yeah, like he literally did awesome. I don't even think you need to put him as a flex player. I would put, I mean, obviously tread on who they're playing and look at that, but obviously Rams, but I'm saying further on. I think he's a solid option to put at wide receiver 1 or 2 with the performance that he displayed this past weekend.
Fair point. So,
Amen.
so before we move on to the next guy, I have a quick question. It's been bugging me for weeks. So Matt, your last name is Ane. Has that ever like not served you well in like high school, like with like Michael Jackson songs or anything? 'Cause they go like, "Ane, are you okay?"
Ooh, that was bad.
No,
That was bad. Okay,
no,
I tried.
no,
That's why I didn't say
nobody
it for
went
weeks.
that far. So I can't. I don't want to be inappropriate on the show because children
Too
may
late.
be listening in the background. But Matthew Ane, and you
Look,
can
it's
guess
9
what the last
o'clock.
word is. We are on audio. They'll listen tomorrow. But Matthew Ane or Matthew is sitting on a. It did have some sound effects, but that didn't happen until college. And then at that point, it was sure.
All right. Got to up my game.
Hey, you learn new things in college, right, Matt?
Apparently.
Can I ask your middle name? Did that have any correlation with any of the nicknames?
No, it's just Christopher.
Okay.
Well, that's boring.
Oh. So,
Yeah.
Hey.
Look, man, it's not your fault. I blame your parents.
Oh, it totally is. It's my dad's name, and why do I have to get that boring middle name? But whatever. Sorry, Dad, you suck.
I mean, it's just the middle name. It's
I'm gonna
just the
tag
middle
him.
name. You don't
I'm
have
gonna
to
find your
state it.
dad's name and I'm gonna tag him in this.
I mean,
I'm gonna wait till December 24th to do it too.
I ruined his Christmas.
He's Corey's splitting families apart.
Look, there's some families in this league that are tearing themselves apart with the cousins that beat each other up in football last week. They got the brothers that are in the league. So like, yeah, it's already happening. Oh, I will say that we did have someone get beat by a 5th grader this week.
Yes. Oh.
Wow.
And
is that his first win?
It is his first win, and he didn't touch a damn thing on the lineup because he doesn't know how. So that's just
He's better than me right now.
He just let it sit there.
Little Bassett for the W.
I guess.
Love that. All right. So our next player, you should be. Everyone should be familiar with this. What's up? He said, "I'm ready." Then next player, everybody, honestly, if you have played fantasy football at some point in the last 5 years to 6 to, I don't want to go back that far. You should know who this person is. Yeah, you should know who this person is. We're going to talk about Kareem Hunt. He's back on the OG team, Kansas City Chiefs. I think it could be a little controversial with just him coming back with how he kind of left Kansas City. That's my opinion. But aside from that, They brought him back in to replace. Obviously, we've had some gruesome injuries on the Chiefs. Every team has had a pretty bad one, but he didn't do too much last week. But it's the fact that he's been brought back, and he definitely, if you've ever watched this guy run a football, he's worth putting on your team. The man is fast. The man will get you rushing yards. Yeah, that's my opinion on.
Yeah. Kareem Hunt right now. I like him. I want to see what happens once Clyde Edwards-Helaire comes back this week. If he does return from his mental illness, he's suffering from PTSD. So hopefully his recovery is fast and is able to come back. But right now Kareem Hunt is 38% owned and definitely has to be added. He was pretty much the whole show in this last outing and had 14 rushing attempts for 69 yards. 2 receptions for 16 receiving yards, so looks pretty good. Didn't end up with any touchdowns, but still a solid game, 9.5 points. It's gonna be a good time. Even though they're going up against the Saints, the Chiefs' offense is going to be moving and grooving, and unless I hear tomorrow that Clyde Edwards-Helaire is returning this week, we got nothing to worry about. He's definitely an ad. In terms of like burning the number one waiver wire priority, yes, do it. Fab dump, absolutely. I'm probably doing about 25 to 30% if he's still out there, being these 38%. So all day with Kareem Hunt. Just hopefully he stays away from giving the boot to random women in a hotel, and he'll be good for your fantasy football team.
Say, well, there it is. Someone brought that up again. So, no, I honestly, I think there's been enough time passed. Look, we all live in a 15-second attention span world, so I don't think anybody even remembers or cares anymore. The guy's getting paid to play, and I would, like I said, that is worth a waiver drop. So I would go get him. I'm gonna eat my own words a little bit from last week because I was a little bit down on him in terms of potential. He's got the volume there, not something I thought he would have had. You're getting 14 carries. That's nothing to shy away from in the Kansas City offense. So I say go for it. I think the production's there, the volume's there. The production will kick up a little bit, and I would say even if CEH comes back this week, I would still probably expect maybe a 1 week gap before he's kind of back to full production. And so in that case, you're still probably good with Kareem Hunt for a week, and then you would start to see that sort of phase out a little bit is what I would expect. But all around solid pick, so I think you're good with that.
Yep, cool.
Oh yeah.
All right. Moving on, we have. I'm probably gonna pronounce his last name wrong. Trey Sermon.
You got it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Trey Sermon. He's a running back for the Indianapolis Colts. Doing my background research on this game, I didn't watch the Colts play this last weekend, although they did win. Obviously Jonathan Taylor came out with a high ankle sprain, and he's had issues in the past with being injured. We touched on this last week. A lot of these players that we're going to talk about are your replacement players for your starters. This is just another one of them. Jonathan Taylor tends to get hurt, and Trey is an awesome option to replace him. So, yeah.
Yeah, Trey Sermon right now is also 2% owned, and there actually probably is some long-term value for him. So anybody who's been a Jonathan Taylor owner for the last couple of years have known that the second his ankle gets hurt, he's like my 3-year-old crying for a boo-boo, and he can't seem to play and get on the field. So, it lingers. It's going to last a couple weeks, and then he may come back and then get hurt again or re-aggravate it. His ankles are just, really inflexible, and the second they get a little bit of stretch, it becomes, very, unfortunate for Jonathan Taylor since he's a great talent. But this is great time for you guys to do do a nice fab dump. Honestly, I'm doing a good fab dump. I'm doing about 35% of my budget on him, truthfully, and I will burn my number one waiver wire priority on him as well. So it's going to be great. I love the talent coming into the NFL from college. I really thought he was going to be something. Obviously, had the injuries, and then it just never worked out in San Francisco. But I think this is an opportunity. I think that the way that the Colts are playing and the way they're just running the ball, Sermon looked great, electric in that game too. Popped on a few times while I was watching Red Zone, and he really did look good. He looked like he had the juice. So I'm totally adding him. This could be literally are remnants of last year when Taylor was out and we were waiting for him to come back, and Zach Moss situation. So this has all the makings of it. I'm pretty excited to see what Sermon does.
Yeah, I think we talked about this before, right? When someone goes down, especially someone with a lot of volume, someone's got to fill the gap, hopefully, for the team to be productive. And I think this is probably your best candidate for the team to pick it up. If you have an ability, like I said, 2% owned means he's probably available in your league, unless you're probably a deeper league like Fantasy Turf War. I would make a move now because you don't know how long that high ankle sprain is going to last. It could be 4 weeks, it could be longer. It could be potential Christian McCaffrey territory where, hopefully you're not talking career or anything like that. But you never know with high ankle sprains, and they tend to linger. So not good that it's happening this early, which means you should probably buy right now so that you get the dividends in the back end. So I'm for it. I'd say pick up Trey Sermon if you got it.
Yep, I agree. Moving on, I'm going to let Matt do the stats on this one because this one I think he's exciting. So Josh Downs, we're talking about Josh Downs, wide receiver for the Colts. Arguably had his breakout game. If Matt wants to go in with the stats, well, so far I would say.
Yeah. No, I think we could say like a mini breakout. So
yeah,
the problem was
coming out game, if you.
Yeah, like I wouldn't put on like the "I'm coming out" song, but he's coming there. He looked good for starters. A lot of his production came with Joe Flacco, who's a better passer, obviously, than Richardson. Richardson went down, but it doesn't seem to be a serious injury. So I don't know if we're going to see this kind of performance again, but he's definitely somebody I'm going to like stash with, a little bit of excitement to see what happens with him. He did it against Pitt too, which was nice. But, honestly, if and this is messed up, but if Richardson goes down to injury, which is likely, then I'm going to be super excited about Downs because then somebody real can pass to him, somebody accurate that isn't throwing 40% accurate, throwing 40% of his passes, on target. So essentially Downs is going to be good. And when that happens, the fact that we saw it this way with 9 targets, 8 receptions, 82 yards, a touchdown, putting up a nice 18.2 points. I think that, all signs point to green when Anthony Richardson is not in the game.
Yeah, I think on my end, I don't have too much value added. I think to that, other than depth wise, you're talking about receivers. He is a rookie, so you've got that going for you. I would be a little bit wary of production value, but I don't think overall you're going to be disappointed. And again, someone's got to fill that gap. I do think Sermon's going to take most of that. I don't see that going to a more passing game, but you could have some luck with Josh Downs. I'd probably pick up Sermon before he did that, though.
Yeah, I agree. I would definitely go for Sermon over Downs, but the thing that excited me was the fact that Downs was injured in the beginning of the season, and he came out and did what he did last week. And I think it's just exciting to see that coming from a player that wasn't like slated to be wide receiver 1. Obviously injuries occurred and whatnot, but yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see what he can do. Personally, I would put him on a watch list before I would snatch him. I would do Sermon before Josh Downs if you have the ability to choose between either or.
For sure.
Awesome. Okay. Who is next? Okay. Next we have Xavier Legette.
Legette. Close.
All right. I want everyone to know I literally wrote it, how to pronounce it, and I still did it wrong. Okay. As a wide receiver for the Panthers, we were going to talk about him last week, so if you already have him on your team and added him last week, good for you. But here we are. Here he is back in our talking circle. Honestly, I think the Panthers are currently finding their footing just in general with the swap from Bryce Young to Andy Dalton. And personally, I mean, there's not too much to really look at there, but I think they've looked better in the last 2 weeks than they did in the preseason in week 1 and 2. I'm not saying they're going to go now and win every single game, but I think that their offense is definitely seeing more opportunity than they were previously. And yeah, I'm a fan of this guy. I think that he's a good person to have on your team and just in general. Awesome flex spot. Could be. I think his potential is like starting right now, and he's just gonna get better as the season progresses.
Fair enough. Honestly, I have an awesome nickname for Xavier Legette, and that's Xavier Legit, because he's looking mighty legit. Andy
He's
Dalton
been waiting
coming
all
in
day
and
to say that.
I actually just made that up on the spot.
Wow,
But yeah,
clever.
I am the nickname king. Okay. Anyway, uh, Xavier Legit. Really, I like the college tape. I like the college production. I wanted to see what he would do. Obviously, I figured he'd be hampered by Bryce Young. I didn't think they were going to pull him and let Andy Dalton take over the reins. But now we get to see this awesome rookie really take off. He's 6'3", 227 pounds, and man, he looked legit. He got 10 targets, was able to come down with 6 yards for 6 targets, 6 receptions for 66 yards, a touchdown. Longest reception was about 17 yards. Even got 2 rushing attempts for 10 rushing yards. That's solid too. Like, if they start using him how they use like Deebo Samuel, how Green Bay's starting to use Jaden Reed, like this is extra production that get put under it, and put on for like 3 points on top of like half point PPR, and coming down with like 6 points. These are all great things, plus the yardage and the touchdown upside. You look what Deontay Johnson did on the other side of the ball, on the other side of the field, how awesome he looked. The more the more Andy Dalton plays with these two receivers, I think honestly he's going to start fading Deontay Johnson, start looking at legit, and just getting it really great. I am super excited for this kid. Truthfully, I know I sound like I'm super excited for everybody, but like he was one of my favorite rookies. I just couldn't get excited about because of Bryce Young. Now I can get all hyped up about it and hot and bothered.
Corey?
You're a little muted there, my
Yeah, I was muted there for a second, but you seem to get a little hot and bothered for a lot of players these days, huh? But we're playing football, not baseball, though, right? So just want to make sure you're clear about which sport you're getting hot for. No, I agree. So Xavier Legette is a Gamecock. So I used to watch him play in USC. So I am all in on him. I don't tend to follow the college sports. Just haven't had a habit of it, but I'm starting to get better at it. I do like him so much that I am going to make that tonight's code. So
muted. But Xavier is the code for the contest, and we will not repeat it. So
Right there.
Below Lauren, right there.
There you go. Well, there you go.
Right there.
So far,
Everybody
so I
point.
went from a live to a standby mode, so I can have that queued up, and it muted me. So thanks, me. Yes.
Corey
So,
just
so
loves
tonight,
that stream deck.
yeah. So tonight's code is Xavier. So go put that in for your bonus 100 entries. So make sure you do that. I wasn't going to put it on the screen because I wanted people to actually listen, but then I realized like 5 people out of 10 probably know how to spell Xavier properly. So just make sure you get the code in there. So yeah. But yeah, I'm all in. I'm excited for him. I think he's going to do well. So if you have a chance, go pick him up.
Is your love for this man, Matt, have anything to do with his accent?
What accent are we referring to here?
Have you not heard him talk?
No.
Oh, after this, you have to go Google. Does like a TikTok or something. Literally Google his name, and he is the most Southern man. It's like I love it. Like he's talking, he has a horse and all this, and he's like, "Yeah, I go horse riding and all this."
Oh my
It's
God,
awesome.
let's go!
I love it. That's why someone had commented. Roshi commented Cowboy Legit. Without me mispronouncing it wrong, but that made me laugh because literally he is a cowboy.
All right.
Yeah. I'll also say, as I forgot to drop it, part of us using his name as a code is because he is part of the prize, in that we have, I hate to do this again, but we have an autographed card from Xavier Legette that will also be part of our contest. So please make sure you go in. And then the card from last week, which I'm not going to show again because that would be the code. So
exactly.
So I realized I was holding the card and I didn't say a damn thing about it, so I should probably do that.
There you go.
I think it's my
Awesome.
internal monologue
So not
going, "Hey,
only
I
is
don't
he
want to
the
give it
code
away."
word, but you can win that. All right. Are we good to move on?
Sure.
Yeah. All right. All right. Our next player is Chase Brown. He's running back for the Bengals. The Bengals have not been looking too cute this year, just being honest. I'm going to throw this one to Matt to give his opinion first
Because
on
he
Mr.
thinks
Chase
they're
Brown.
cute.
Oh, yeah,
Oh
of course.
wow,
I'm not sure where we're going with
me
this.
under the bus, but all right. So here's the thing. Chase Brown is out there just because he looked good. He's a low priority, if anything, just kind of like a speculative ad to see what happens with Moss. Him and Moss kind of had similar production. Moss ended up with like 15.8, and I'm pulling up Chase Brown. He had about sorry guys, here we go. He had about 22 points. They both saw about like 15 attempts each, which if they start splitting it and they're both able to be hyper effective like this, and be able to average anywhere from 4 to 5 yards per carry, it's going to be fun to own both at that point. But they're obviously going to hamper each other and kind of be like, okay, whoever gets the touchdown is going to have the better game. So plus they were playing Carolina. That's why they were both able to walk away with at least one touchdown. Chase walked away with two. Playing Baltimore this week, which is going to be pretty rough. Even my Giants, they just have a good front five or four or whatever. And and then they play Cleveland, another good line. So like, it's not my favorite ad out of all these guys, probably low priority, but at the same time, you're in a deep league. He's definitely somebody I'm adding just to see what happens. And if you're not if you're a Zach Moss owner, you obviously want him because if Moss goes down, boom, you have an instant stud. Or if you want to, swipe him out from the other guy and just stash him and wait on that injury and start him in a pinch because there is buys this week with Philadelphia, Titans, and Detroit. You might need a replacement for, Barkley or Gibbs or somebody. Chase Brown might be your last ditch option. So he's out there. Go ahead and just play him because there's a chance he might walk away with a touchdown.
Corey, you want to go?
Cool.
No, you go. I gotta take care of some stuff. Sorry.
Okay. It's a little behind the scenes action. Yeah, I mean, everything Matt said is very valid. I think that if you have Zach Moss, again, we talk all these people. We're talking about people that can replace people that are getting injured and the potential of injury and all of this. And you want to be ahead of that instead from behind it, and then you no longer have the option to get them. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't think I would be too surprised with the points that he put up this past weekend, scoring 2 touchdowns on 15 carries for 80 yards, that he could take over that running back slot, potentially. I'm not saying that could happen officially, but I don't know. I'm seeing the potential out of him more and more, and obviously if an injury is thrown in there, he is your running back one option, RB1 option, so I would say, yeah, go ahead and just get him on your team again, because if you have Zach Moss, go ahead and get Chase Brown, because you never know. Literally never know when someone's going to go down with whatever injury they could have. So,
Yeah, fair point. And like we said, you should always be looking ahead to all of your potential scenarios. And if you're not prepared for your running back going down, or if you're trying to get ahead of the game by someone else's running back going down, start making your moves now, because they'll seems to be paying off every next week. So do it now.
Oh yeah.
all right. Well,
All right. Well, hang on. Oh, sorry, Lauren. So we actually have someone who has a start-sit question, but they actually have work in the morning. So I want to make sure we got it in there. I know we have a lot of people in the chat today. So we've got Albert, Brendan, let's see, Cameron, Rossi, Shane. I'm going to pronounce this wrong, but Pranav. So let's get to Rossi's question before he's got to go to bed because he's a construction worker. So there we go. Look at that new chat feature. So Rashi's saying, a 12-man, I have Love, Jordan Cook, James Cook, Etienne, Chase, London, DJ Moore, Bowers, the Jets, and Boswell. Let's see, I bring that back. Do I stay patient, or is there anything I should be looking for?
Honestly, that team is pretty good. Only guy I'd probably dump is Javonte Williams. I think he's done. He hasn't looked the same since tearing his Achilles, so he's pretty much bad for me. I would truthfully go, and if Hunt is out there, I'm adding Hunt over him. Sermon, if he's out there, I'm adding Sermon. Javonte Williams, I think, just is pretty much dead. Other than that, your team is pretty loaded. I'm surprised you walked away with a team like this in a 12-man. So
Yeah, seems good. Yeah, I don't think I would get rid of anybody else either. If I have to move somebody, Javonte Williams is definitely the guy, and I would be looking to reinforce your stuff.
Oh, and trade DJ Moore. I think that Caleb Williams is pretty much just going to, kill him. And you know what? Even though the value is lower, you're going to get like, 20 cents on the dollar for him. Maybe you could fill a piece and get some depth or anything of the sort like that.
I would just like to point this out before we move on from this, that my roommate stated that they've watched this show and the amount of times that Matt mentions Caleb Williams. He goes, I bet he's going to mention him tonight. And I said, nah, probably not. We're not going to talk about him.
Are we developing a drinking game? I think we have it.
It's simple bet.
But if anybody watches How I Met Your Mother,
wait for it.
Legendary. But all right. Want to hit this last guy?
Oh yeah. All right, so our last person to talk about is none other than Justin Fields, who's the current quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Before I give my opinion, Corey was there when this happened, when we did our drafts back in August. Yeah.
Yep.
A live draft. I was live with about 6 other people on the draft. I forgot his name. Hopefully you're watching this and you're like, that was me. Absolutely flamed me for drafting Justin Fields as my backup quarterback in this league. I just want to say, look me in the eyes. Haha. I just want to say that. Thank you very much.
I am the fantasy player now.
Look me in the eyes in the center of this screen. Ha. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, the man, I think, took some adjust. I mean, obviously, new quarterback to a new team, you take some time to adjust. He adjusted very well. He's been doing awesome this last week. Literally insane. May I add also, you can laugh at me because he was on my bench. Thank you very much.
I mean, I don't blame you.
Yeah, I get it.
I mean, yeah, I didn't know that he was going to, I mean, this is what's exciting about football, and you live and you learn, and some weeks they're awesome, and some weeks you're like, why did I play them, and why are they off my bench? That's the beauty of this. And now I know. So, there you go.
Just for everyone's reference, that is episode 38. I don't know who it was that flamed you, but I'm going to go watch that and find out.
It was whoever got, I think he got Christian McCaffrey, the 3rd pick.
Oh, that would have been Adam Marino of Influencer TV.
Sure.
Yeah, because it was such an anomaly because it came down to the 3rd pick and it should not have. But Timothy Trilk, who is a professional soccer player, had the 1st overall, and he did not pick up Christian McCaffrey, and that seemed to have paid off really well for him. So all the shit talking we did. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, wasn't that? Yeah. Crazy.
Seemed to paid off for him, and I think he's doing pretty well in the league too. So, good decision.
I couldn't have Justin Fields.
I don't know. You're getting some hate in the chat, Matt. I'm just gonna throw this in here. Rossi, before they signed off for the night, they're a new subscriber, so thank you, Rossi. I apologize if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but they also said Caleb Williams sucks.
Agreed. So I wouldn't say hate. I think we're all in agreement that he's a bust. Busted. So anyway, we're going to talk about Justin Fields now. I'm going to do this quick because I know we're at the end and we're going to answer some questions. But Justin Fields is about 32% owned, and honestly, he's looked fantastic other than like the brief that we've gone over. What I like about the Steelers organization and the head coach there is they don't just like throw their quarterbacks, especially guys that really haven't had time to develop, whether it's a rookie or a guy like Justin Fields. They work them into the offense. The only thing they ask is don't make mistakes, and that's why Justin Fields is still the starter. He hasn't made a mistake. He threw one interception, lost one fumble in 4 weeks. He's thrown 20 attempts, 32 attempts, 34 attempts, and 23 attempts. So he's throwing the ball quite a lot, and that's way more than the Giants let Daniel Jones throw the ball the year we made the playoffs, like 2 years ago. So that just speaks volumes. And Justin Fields is taking advantage and getting used to the offense and throwing the ball even more each and every week, and is doing the right things. 312 passing yards this year with 22 completions out of 34 attempts. Fantastic. Rushed 10 times, came down with 55 rushing yards, and had 2 rushing touchdowns. Now, I'm not saying he's a long-term play. I'm not crazy. I don't think he's going to be your starting quarterback from this week on. No. But the matchups coming up are fantastic. Dallas just lost, the guy from Penn State. I'm having a brain fart. The linebacker. It'll come to me. And DeMarcus Lawrence. So 2 stud pass rushers gone. Done. So rush game is going to be wide open. Vegas, Crosby's been hurt, so he should be able to, have a little bit more time in the pocket, be able to break out and run. Jets have been horrendous against the run. And so Justin Fields, if he feels like, okay, I can't pass it off, okay, cool, I'm going to run for 10. That's essentially what's going to happen. Giants, they have a good, front, but, you get past them, you're pretty much gold. He's going to be able to pass on them. Our secondary is terrible. And then Washington's been horrendous. It's going to be a shootout. So ultimately, a bunch of matchups coming up, minus I think the Giants being the worst one, and Vegas if Crosby decides to get healthy. But other than that, he should be a fair stream for the next 5 weeks. So get your shares of him now, 32% owned.
Yep, fair point. And we're getting into the bye week, so it's all about your matchups and who you need to fill the positions with. So I think that's a solid take. I also, as much as I hate to say it, Vegas might have some problems on their hands this next couple weeks with whatever's happened with Davante Adams. So, yeah.
You want to talk about that, Corey?
Nope, no, I don't. Not yet, because it's just a rumor. But
he asked for a trade today, just saying.
He asked for a trade, and the team is shopping him around, so that's not good.
He'll be gone by the end of the week.
Ooh.
Probably. I mean, if it's going
Please
this quickly,
don't tell me, Corey, that you have a. Please don't tell me you have a Adams jersey already.
I do not. I have not bought a jersey, a Raiders jersey, in quite a while. So
I vote that you get a Brock Bowers one, but that's bias.
I actually almost bought. Oh God, what was the other tight end last year? Baller or
yeah, Waller.
Waller, there you go. Waller the baller. I almost bought his, and then they traded him. So there's that.
Yeah, that's
cross-eyed crazy is what I called him. His eyes freaked me out.
Look, I didn't care because he put up points. At some point, it's just about putting up points.
Yeah,
it's true.
All right,
very true.
All right, let's see. Let's get to some user questions because I think we've got quite a bit today. All right, first one up is Albert. Albert, welcome back. He just says, hello, everyone. Hi, Albert. Good to see you again. He's here every week, so good to see you again.
Albert Brenneman. Another movie reference.
Lauren's going to write that down and look it up later.
See, y'all have told me so many things that I have to go watch. It's a running list in the back of my head that's
it's a whole show.
It's being lit with, it's like a piece of paper being lit with a lighter, like shh.
Pretty much.
One day I will. If you could send me like an actual list, it'd be great. Anyway.
Oh, I'm on that. I've given that list out to several of my airmen back in the day. So, all right. Brendan's asking, should I trade Bijan Robinson for AJ Brown and Aaron Jones? I've already answered this to him, but I want your take.
Is Brendan still in this? Because I have one question. If not, I will just kind of give two-sided answers. If you're answering here, if you can. If not, if you're 0-4, then yes, I'd make that trade, especially with him being hurt. And it just kind of gives you depth. Aaron Jones has been solid. And then you get AJ Brown, who should be back next week. If you're, chilling and you're either, breaking even at 500 or, you're 3-1 or 4-0, God forbid, that'd be awesome. Then no, I'm not doing it. I'm going to roll with Bijan Robinson. He's going to bounce back. Him being at, RB20 right now, isn't how he's going to end. He's a guy that could explode, have a 40-point game, and then now he's a top 10 running back, and then he'll continue being awesome each and every week. Atlanta's getting their groove. It's like Emperor's New Groove. It just takes a little bit of time, and just give it a little bit of time, and he's going to be good. Oh, you know that movie? Good for you.
I swear.
Because it's a cartoon.
It was simply one, the movie, two, you mentioned the Falcons doing something good. So,
So she just knows the Falcons. She didn't know the movie reference.
No,
yes,
not at all.
are you kidding me? Guys, stop bullying me every week. I can't take it.
Talk to HR.
All right.
Yeah,
Oh,
HR.
that way.
Yeah, HR. Over there, HR. Somewhere over there.
Corey.
It was just the Brady Bunch where we just.
That was the point. I need to talk to you. Anyway, yeah. I mean, I agree. I don't really have anything else to say. I think if you could get the 2-for-1 out of that, yeah. But also, like, the same thing with Matt is, like, if it's depending on how the rest of your team is. That would have been the question to ask of who else do you have on your team to be looking at that, because if Bijan is like one of your best players, I don't know. I might halt there. I would like to see the rest of your team before I could make that decision, though.
Yeah, so you guys went down the same rabbit hole or the same path I did with him. So I asked a couple of questions back and forth in the chat, and so he's on a 10-man PPR. My first question to him was, are you hurting for players? Like, what's your situation? So he said for running backs, I have Mason, Bijan Robinson, Walker, and Mixon, and Bijan. So who's the other B-Rob? Anyway, so I basically told him the same thing. I said, it doesn't seem like you're hurting. I said, I don't see a sense in kind of holding off, but it's not a bad trade, but it's kind of your discretion. If you feel like you need to make a move, go for it. If it were me, I probably would go for it. Why not?
It's fantasy football. Come on. Why not? Unless you got like $500 on the league, think about your decisions.
Yeah, I didn't ask him how much he had invested. All right, so next question is from Shane. He wants to trade Kamara and Garrett for Breece Hall and Jaden Reed.
Oh, yeah, do that. If you could pull that off, I don't think the Breece Hall owner is going to do it. But if you could pull that off, I'm 100% pulling the trigger. Aaron Rodgers looks a little washed, a little too much, peyote or ayahuasca, whatever he likes, what he's into these days, have really just morphed him. Kamara looks awesome, but I think he's inflated. He's about an injury away, which he's already heard he was day-to-day coming into the week, and now I think is finally green-lighted to go. Why not? I mean, Breece Hall, yeah, he had the bad game. That's the perfect buy low. And then, I mean, yeah, that'd be a steal, but I don't know if they'll do it.
Yeah, I think that was my take. Is I don't know if that's a viable trade from the other side, but I mean, if someone's willing to do it, I'd take it.
If you have Deontay Johnson on your team, or somebody that like went off, that's a nice little add-in to kind of get the deal done. Essentially, sell high on players you either picked up off the waiver wire or like a last round pick. To kind of like, okay, cool, let's sweeten the pot. Even though the long-term production is going to be great, but that might get the job done over the finish line, essentially.
Yeah, fair enough. Lauren, you taking the trade?
100%. I mean, if I had Breece Hall, I would look at this person and go, what in the hell? If you can convince somebody to make that trade, 100%. Yeah, go for it.
All right, I think we're all in agreement there. All right, next one is from, I'm going to pronounce it wrong again, Pranav. Do I trade Amari Cooper for Garrett Wilson?
Yeah, I would do that. I mean, I'm not an Amari Cooper guy, really, and quite honestly, too, I don't know how much longer Watson's going to be there for. So, and I think Garrett Wilson turns it around, too. He's been good. You look at his record, and he always starts off a little rough and then kind of figures it out. He gets good. This is the best quarterback he's ever played with, and they're going to figure it out. Aaron Rodgers. I think he slipped a little something. I feel like I just came out of a Diddy party, but essentially, I think that he's going to figure it out, and things are going to be good for Wilson coming at some point. Cooper versus him. I mean, I'm Wilson all day.
That was crazy reference right there. I'm still.
I'm actually
That
on the
wasn't
opposite.
Corey didn't give that enough attention. That was good. That was all claps to
Sorry,
Matt.
I
That
was
was
I was
right off the
prepping the
dome.
next question. What was it? Say it again.
He made a Diddy party reference so fast it came out right off the tongue, and that was perfect.
And we're demonetized. Just kidding. Just kidding. We were never monetized.
Oh,
Exactly. That's why
that
we're
was
fair
good.
right now.
Yeah. I'm actually on the opposite end of this. I would probably keep Cooper. I've liked him since he was in Dallas. Then the Raiders. I think he's great. I would probably keep Cooper in this scenario, but kind of just a preference, I guess.
I would
Lauren,
go
break
with
the
Matt
tie.
on this one. I would go with Matt on this one. Honestly, I agree with the fact that you don't know how long Deshaun really has left at the Browns. No one really knows. I don't think he knows. So I don't know. I think that Garrett Wilson, just in like production value, I think you could use him in a way that I don't know. I don't really trust the Amari Cooper situation with the way with how Deshaun Watson's situation has not really unfolded, but we don't know anything as of yet of his timeline. So yeah, honestly, I would do the Garrett Wilson trade. Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Got a bit of a hot take here. Caleb Williams will bring the Bears a minimum of 3 Lombardis.
Thank you, Edward. That's my roommate.
Oh yeah, I think your friend. Look,
that's
I'm not saying you need new
That's
friends,
awesome.
but I don't know where he's pulling that from. I would like evidence to support the claim. Look, man, I'm from Chicago, and I still don't buy that. So
He simply wanted y'all to say that. That's why.
Oh, okay. Well then, congrats. You got the soundbite. I'll clip it just for you. Yeah, ain't no way in hell. All right, I think we got one more here. Mad Max, would y'all trade T for Addison? Also, would you trade T for Tank, who is a RD15 keeper?
Okay, so the keeper one makes it a little bit more interesting, but I'm not doing it for Addison. That's a no-go. But the round 15, keeper makes it interesting, but ultimately too, like, take a look at your team. Do you see yourself winning a championship? Because then, if that's the case, Tank Dell isn't the answer. T. Higgins has a way higher upside. The defense sucks on Cincinnati. T. Higgins is awesome, and in order for them to stay in games, they're going to have to throw the ball. That's why I was high on Joe Burrow this year. That's why I'm high on T. Higgins himself, and I think that it's a contract year too. So he's going to play his butt off just to go out and be paid. So I think if you want to win a championship this year and you're in a position to do that, I'm not trading T. Higgins for anything.
Yeah, I don't know of a scenario where I would. Not in this given scenario. I don't think I'm taking that trade at all.
Yeah, I agree. I have Addison on a team. I think he's kind of injury prone. He's good when he's healthy. But again, I wouldn't trade T. Higgins. I wouldn't do that.
Addison is a little bit of alcohol prone and driving, so I don't know.
Say who among us, right? Oh wait, that's the majority of us. Never mind.
He just gets caught.
Yeah, right. All right. Shane wants to know: do you think Braylon Allen will take too much away from Breece Hall?
Not at all. I mean, you look at the last game. Breece Hall averaged literally under 1 yard per carry and still got the majority share in this last horrendous game. Braylon Allen looked good and was actually being productive, but they're still going to run out Breece Hall. Breece Hall was a first round, technically second round pick, but high second round pick, and honestly showed it off. They know what they have in Breece Hall. They're not just going to go away from him just because he had a bad game. You go looking into this game now, he's had 60-70% of the workload. If Braylon Allen, takes away seven or eight attempts away from Breece Hall, where he now has 18 versus 20 attempts, I'm happy because that means we're going to get Breece Hall for 17 games. Whereas, if he was doing the whole workload, you're just wondering, okay, can he do this? What's his shelf life? Things like that. So Braylon Allen is a great to him. If anything, I'd just be having him as an insurance running back at this point.
Yeah, fair enough. I think that's pretty spot on. Trying to.
Yeah, I had nothing to add to that. He covered it.
Cameron Bassett would like to say shots fired, Matt. Probably whiskey. What's your drink of choice, Matt?
It is bourbon, a little Woodford Reserve, or anything that is in the $50 range or more, because I'm a little bougie, and that means it's really good bourbon.
Lauren, water.
My drink of choice. I hate dark liquor, so
He's
any of
also
that
like
area, we're doing whiskey, bourbon. You want to go into like the Hennessy and Douce, none of that. I'm as simple as a lovely Cape Cod. Which y'all should know what that is. I shouldn't
What
have to
is
tell you.
that?
You don't know what a Cape Cod is?
I mean, I know where
No.
the place is.
You don't know what
Yeah.
the drink is?
No.
No, that's some Southern stuff.
Yeah, that sounds weird.
Yeah.
It's
Sounds like
literally a vodka cranberry with lime juice. Y'all need to culture yourselves.
So why not call it that?
So a vodka cran.
That's the official name
Thank you.
for it.
No.
That's the official name for it. It's like a screwdriver is orange juice and vodka.
Okay, but that's
No.
screwdriver is a normally accepted term in the rest of the world. So
When you have two people from two different places looking at you like you're crazy, then you're
I was
crazy.
a bartender. I'm not crazy. I know I'm not crazy.
It's an Atlanta thing then. Like, do you know what an LIT is?
it's an acronym.
A Long Island iced tea.
Yeah, I know what a Long Island. You know how many
Okay,
Long
that-
Islands I see I
see,
make for
okay.
people?
Okay,
I would love to
that's
say
what I'm
what
saying.
the bar
It's
that
a
I worked in.
staple.
What
Nobody.
they called
I don't
that.
even remember what you just said.
It was so nice being on the broadcast tonight.
Yeah. So what is it called? A Cape Cod?
Cape Cod. It's
I'm gonna put this
literally
to the
a
test.
vodka cran with lime juice.
Matt, we got to put this to the test. Go find a bar within the
What
next
is
week,
a Cape
and
Cod?
I'm gonna go
Let's
find
see
a
if it
bar
even
within the
comes
next
up.
week. And if the
So-
bartender looks at me like I'm an idiot, I'm gonna send
Hold
it to you.
I searched what is a Cape Cod. Okay, I got Cape Cod itself. Did you mean a Cape Cod house? What is technically Cape Cod? Nothing referring to
Look
a
up the drink. Look up
I-
the drink.
I mean, I did type in Cape Cod drink and it came up, so like I'll give you that. But
Mm-hmm. Thanks. I bet y'all have never heard Dr. Pepper shot, and that's crazy.
also
I'm
the
so
the first reference is Wikipedia, so I don't know how much I buy into this. So
Oh no.
Oh, come on. Come on.
that's the true
Yeah,
test, though. Matt, you go find a bar, ask for a Cape Cod. I'll go ask for a Cape Cod. If the bartenders look at us like we're idiots, then you know she's full of shit.
You know
go to
what?
a real bar, please, also.
I'm gonna be sitting in the airport prepping for a 14-hour flight, so I'll be excited. I'll definitely be asking for a Cape Cod because that's gonna put me to sleep.
Matt, you might need a Long Island. You might need a little lit after a flight
Oh.
for that one.
Probably.
Get
Some
you a lit.
Benadryl.
Get you.
I'll be in Japan at that point. I'll be drinking sake.
Oh.
Jealous.
Lit.
All right, we got one more question here. Cameron Bassett is asking, do you dump Perrine and Steele since Hunt is back, or hold on to it?
Dump Steele. He has no business being out on that field. P Ryan, I'm gonna hold
P. Ryan.
because I don't know what's going on with Hunt. This could be a one-hit wonder. He wasn't. Like I like Hunt. Hunt's definitely an ad, as we talked about earlier, but also Hunt wasn't able to get the job done when Chubb was down and lost the job to
Mixon?
the name will come to me. No, it was a Cleveland running back that is there now. But anyway, having a brain fart. But
CH?
no. It'll come to me.
I
John
can't think
Smith.
of his name. I can see his face, but I can't think of his name.
I can't see his face or see his name. I just can't think of it.
Does any of the names that I just said, is it any of those names if I add Lynn at the end of it?
I'm dead. Hold on, I got it right here. Done.
Ford?
So, yeah.
No.
Ford.
Yeah, Ford. Is it? Yeah, Jerome Ford.
Jerome Ford. So he couldn't hold out to Jerome Ford and nobody running back to me. So, I look at it like this. Hunt is going to be effective for the first couple of weeks until, one of these guys beat him out. I don't know who's going to be the horse. It could be Hunt all year, but P. Ryan was effective last year and, was pretty good on Denver and carved himself out a nice role. So now that he's here, I think that is going to be just fine. Let's see what happens. It's I think between Clyde and him, but Hunt is the ad for now.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Steele has any business being on any teams at this point until you see something else. When it comes to Kareem Hunt being like a one-hit wonder kind of thing, I've felt that way before in previous seasons, and I always seem to be wrong. So maybe this is where you should keep him and think that it's going to be a thing. Just now that I said that, it won't. So there you go for that. But yeah, I would at least get rid of Steele. I'd hold a Pirine for a little while, and then see how Hunt is doing before you make any other decisions. Yeah.
Yes, drops Rashid Rice, by the way. I see that question.
I was gonna say the last one's Adam A123. Should I drop Rashid Rice? Do you think it's worthwhile doing it now, or you think you might make a comeback later on?
Didn't he tear it? Am I crazy?
Let me check. I was catching up on that right before we got on. Lauren, are you drinking right now?
I was trying to cover a yawn there.
Yeah,
It wasn't slick.
So there's no report yet, but they're fearing that he tore his ACL. I mean, here, hey, look, it's what, Tuesday? We're gonna get that news by Wednesday or Thursday. Yeah, no, fair point, Cameron. If it's a keeper league or dynasty league, yeah, I'm holding on to him. Maybe not keeper, but dynasty I am. But redraft league, see you later. If further testing is done, then they're probably suspecting a torn ACL. He's probably done for the season. But hang on until we get news.
It looks like he's already out for week 5. Especially if you have like an IR spot open, hold on to it for now. Wait for the information to come back. But I would say, yeah, if he's looking at some sort of long-term thing, you're probably welcome to dump him. There's going to be plenty of other things to fill your lineup with, especially if you're in deeper leagues. So once you have solid information, I'd go for it. As of right now, tonight's waivers, I wouldn't pull the trigger on that just yet. Just wait for more information.
Yep.
Lauren's still drinking. See?
Yep. Liquor. Straight liquor.
Out of the stand.
Cape Cod.
40 ounces, brother.
Cape Cod sounds like a fish drink, and I don't want any part of that in a Stanley Cup. I'm out.
Yeah. Might as well go get my Home Depot.
A fish drink? Oh, because named after a beach.
Yeah. That was it. That was the reference.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
All right.
All right. Do we have any more questions? Or are we good?
I think we are caught up.
Awesome. Well, guys.
It's been a good episode 50.
For this week. What's up?
I said it's been a good episode 50.
Yes, it has. 50, half of 100. It's a good number. All right.
Yeah. Yep, that is correct. Factually correct.
I mean, all right. I do have a college degree. Thank you so much, Corey. All right.
Hey, I do too. I got it online.
I got none.
All right.
I'll Photoshop you one, Matt. You can be in the
do
club.
we want to answer? There is one question.
Okay, here you go. Adam, just because it's you, make sure you're subbed. I have Chubb at my IR spot. I need to pick up Hunt or Chase Brown off waivers, but my bench is full, and I'm considering dropping Rice. Man, that's a tough one. Let me pull it back up here.
So if he sprained his ACL or MCL, you're looking at, like, I'm going to put it this way, 6 weeks. So I think 6 weeks. If it's torn, it's most likely going to be torn, or they might just opt for the surgery. I don't think I'm doing it. I think I'll wait.
Yeah, I would wait. I think that's risky just in general. I would just wait to see the official status that's released, and then make your moves. It does suck. It does suck having your bench full, but yeah.
I think the smart option, right? The logical option is to wait for more information so you make a more determined decision or more informed decision. But I mean, at the end of the day, fantasy football is about feelings and your gut. So I don't know if I'd be mad at you if you went and dropped him early so that you could pick up somebody off waivers. Like Brain says to hold off until you have more information, though. But I could totally see why you would want to. I wouldn't do it if it were me, but I also am sitting pretty in one of my leagues, so I'm not really in that kind of spot. Yeah, I guess that also depends too, right? Because if you're like getting into the 0-4 territory and you need to make some moves, then I could see the panic button being hit. If you're 3-1, 4-0, something like that, then there's no real reason to rush because there's always going to be somebody else to pick up next week.
So here's the thing, right? Like, how often have we saw Adam Schefter or anybody report suspect an ACL and it not come back as an ACL, even with further testing? Can any of us think of a time where that hasn't happened, where they've been wrong?
No, not if it's coming from him.
So, essentially, they said, I read Adam Schefter said MRI was performed during further testing, which means he's probably getting a second opinion. But it's probably already confirmed. They just haven't announced it yet. But look, hopefully your waivers run at noon and we get answers by like tomorrow morning. If not, look, flip a coin and see what happens.
So actually, Schefter's tweet says they're not expecting any firm answers until next week.
I would just hold out.
So I'm just going to quote it. So after further testing on Rashee Rice is needed, there remains uncertainty over the extent of his injury per sources. After consulting with team docs and receiving second opinions, more tests are required to determine the full extent of Rice's injury and his recovery timeline. No answers are expected until next week.
Yeah. And I mean, they could be just looking at it for playoffs for them, not for us.
Yeah.
He may not return. So, I mean, at that point, you got to do what you got to do. If you're 1-3, I'd hold. You could pull out of this. Last year I won with 1-5. So, it's doable. It's going to take a little bit of time.
Yeah, I'm trying to read the comments to see if there's any kind of valid opinions there. Yeah, the fact that they did an MRI and they couldn't diagnose is odd. Yeah, it's a tough call. Like I said, I think we made a good case for why you should wait, just because there is no definitive information. But that being said, if you're in a tough spot, I get it. So it's really up to you and where you think you're at in the league.
Yep.
And Lauren's still drinking.
Yup. No, literally water. Let me live. All right.
See? Water. Drinking.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. You
Pass
guys.
out.
All right, bring us home,
ready?
Lauren.
Okay. All right. So with that being said, that's going to do it for the end of this week. So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you all so much for being so active in the comments. We appreciate it. We love it. Make sure you're following along on all the social media and sign up on the website. Our links are the same everywhere. Just type in Fantasy Turf War and we will pop up. Instagram, Facebook, literally everything. Just type in Fantasy Turf War and we're there. Like Corey said, we are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, literally everything. Just type in Fantasy Turf War. You can listen to us anywhere, from whatever device, from your car, from your phone, from your laptop, whatever. So yeah, with that being said, Matt, where can people find you?
You can find me at Locked On Fantasy Baseball on Instagram or Twitter, and you also find me Matthew_on at Instagram or Twitter. And then if you want to find out some baseball stuff, Locked On Fantasy Baseball, wherever you podcast or YouTube.
On a what? I'm just kidding.
Funny.
You can find me at Corey Bassett NC, and we are now up to 92 subscribers. So we are close to the century mark there. So appreciate it, and make sure you're entering the contest because we want to give back to you. And the only way to do that is if you enter. So tonight's code is Xavier. If you have not gotten that yet, I'll throw it up here on the screen. But Lauren, where can people find you?
You can find me on social media wherever you want. Just type in my full name, Lauren Elizabeth Hill. Please don't take that in the wrong way and run with it. Now that you know my full name. Instagram, whatever, LinkedIn, I don't know. I'm literally everywhere. So do what you want with that information. Other than that, we will see you next week. Be
Wait.
excellent to each other. Be kind.
Javier has a question real quick. Don't want to leave him hanging. Lightning round. Ready? Ready? 5 seconds. Would you rather have the rest of the season Tyreek or MHJ?
Oof. They're both bad right now, but probably MHJ.
Okay, yeah, I agree. I'll take that.
Because I don't know when Tua is coming back.
That's a good point. Unfortunately.
Fair.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Sorry, he threw a
Back
question
to
in there. I
my
didn't want to leave him hanging.
closing statement there. Be excellent to each other. Be kind. And until next time, keep moving forward. See ya.
We'll see ya. Thanks, everyone. 50 episodes.